Everyone okay with me recording?
Of course.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, so as I was saying, welcome to the weekly workshop for Casper Labs. So during this workshop, we're going to demonstrate how an account owner can grant signing authority to another key. This is a key that they only need to send in the public key, so they don't need to know the private key for this. And we believe this use case is really important in industry and businesses where a information security group wants to grant or revoke access to certain actions that could be blockchain specific to persons that either come and go from their organization. And you want to be able to do this securely, and you want to be able to do this without having to call a bunch of other people to get involved, right? So a lot of typical multi-signature functionality that you see in the ecosystem today is, well, I've got a multi-sig of 3 individuals, and one of those individuals can't multi-sig anymore. I got to get the other 2 to sign to make a modification to that contract. And we're going to demonstrate here how this is possible just from the central owner or administrator of the account. Now, this can also be extended furthermore because we provide key weights. So you can actually do built-in multi-signature with weights and thresholds, which we can demonstrate at a future session. So the goal is to demonstrate, we're going to demonstrate the capacity of Casper Labs accounts. For those of you playing along, installation of the client, building the contracts. We're going to work with the DevNet today, so we'll be doing our deployments to the DevNet, and then you'll be able to see the account balances change in Clarity. We're going to record the session. So who on the call is going to work along with me, or do you guys just want to watch me do it?
I'd like to follow along if I could.
Sure, sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing you want to do is make sure we've got some of the prerequisites going. So within Clarity, you want to go in first. So you can sign into Clarity. This is my key management interface within Clarity. You want to sign in. You can use Google or GitHub to authenticate. And then just go in and create an account key. And then go to the faucet. So you can create an account key here. And then go to the faucet. And then select the account key. And then just request tokens. And the faucet will give you, if you look here to the right, you can see the balances. It'll give you, is that 1 billion? I think that's 1 billion tokens for the use of, funding account execution. All right. Tom, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to create new accounts for this purpose, just so we can do it clean from the ground up.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to go ahead and create an account key. I'm going to call this weekly workshop key 1. As we've indicated in the instructions that we want to name the keys key 1, key 2, and key 3. And we're going to fund key 1. And we're going to leave key 2 and key 3 unfunded. So I'm going to go into the faucet and I'm going to select weekly workshop key 1. And I want to request tokens. It's going to fire off a transaction to do that. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to create weekly workshop key 2. Weekly workshop key 3. So there's my 3 keys. Key number 1 has been funded. I have already cloned the repository and I've already compiled my contracts. Do you need to compile and clone, or are we set up with that? Those that are following along.
I think I'm running. I think I'm actually good, but I need to make sure actually.
Yeah, you probably want to do a git status. Do a git status, and then do Casper Labs client -- version to make sure.
Oh yeah, I'm behind. Okay.
So the version you want is 0. We're testing. Yeah, you want to be at 0.11.
.11. Gotcha.
Yeah. And you can use brew apt, Docker or Tarball, depending on whichever one you want.
Okay. Almost there.
No worries.
It's still saying that I'm with, that I have .10.
Okay, if you want, we can share your screen.
I'm not
And
sure.
do you need a screen share?
Okay. Hold on. Just a terminal? Is that fine?
Yeah, I think terminal's fine.
All right. Okay. See it?
Yep. Yep.
Can you do a git branch for me?
I think he's on dev.
Yeah, so what you're going to want to do is do a git checkout master. And then just do a git pull. And then just a git logs to verify. Just log. Git log, sorry.
Oh,
Yep, you're good.
okay.
Just a queue, I think, is what you need to do there. And
Yep.
then, now, where do you have the Casper Labs client installed? How'd you install it? Did you build it? Did you?
I built it last time, but I remember running into some issues, I think, last time. I can't remember.
Yeah,
It
so
was at the very end.
you can use apt if you want to get the latest client. It's probably the fastest way to do it. Are you in Debian?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just do it apt install. Is it Casper Labs client?
He'll have to add the repo first. There's documentation.
This guy? Oh, that's a 10.
You don't have to worry about that. So
Okay.
I'm going to send you a link. Is this an Ubuntu machine?
Right.
Yeah, so I'll send you a link on how to just install it without having to build it.
Okay, perfect. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, installation's a little bit easier. And then you want to compile your contracts while you're waiting for that. So go to step 3.
Okay.
And you've checked out now. So yeah, go to the execution engine within the Casper Labs root directory from Git, and then just do make setup and then do make build contracts.
Okay. Go here.
Yeah, make setup and then make build contracts. Build dash contracts. Make setup. Here we go. That'll take a minute or two.
All right, you sent me a link.
coming right now in the chat window.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about the NPM warnings for right now because that's the new assembly script work we're doing.
Meta, could you share this recording afterwards? I don't want to slow things down, but I want to follow this. This is super helpful, and do this afterwards.
100%. Yep,
Thank you.
that's the purpose. Yep. Okay, so then now you want to do make space build dash contracts. Oh, okay. You want to do dash contracts. Now you're going to build everything.
Oh, it's going to take a while.
It's okay.
So I'm in another terminal window right now doing the other thing.
It's okay. Let the other thing go. It's cool. We'll just watch it all.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's going to compile everything now, right, guys?
I don't believe make build compiles the contracts.
Okay, so you probably want to kick off another terminal and then just go into execution engine again and do make build dash contracts. That'll get you the contracts as well.
Or
Okay.
you can cancel this one.
Yeah, if you want to, you can kill this one, right, Mashik?
Yes.
Am I able to do that?
Yeah, you got one.
Control
We'll see
C.
it.
All right. Dash was a contract?
Yeah, wait, back up.
Yeah.
Back up. It's just one dash. Build, no space. I don't know if there's a space there. Yeah.
Yeah, no space.
Contracts. S. There you go.
All right.
There we go.
All right.
And so what we're doing here is we have a rather large repository of example and test contracts that we use to test the execution engine and to demonstrate the functionality of the system. And so we're going to compile all of those. And on my end, I'm going to drop those keys where they need to go on my system. Because I downloaded keys from the Explorer, but now I need to place them on my system where I'm referencing them in my contracts when I run them. So I'm going to go do that right now.
Don't worry about this error. It's just because you don't have assembly script installed. We're not using the assembly script contract, so you don't have to worry about this. For our purposes, this is build enough.
And do you have the client now?
I'm working on getting the client right now, but it's telling me that I have an unmet dependency, and I'm trying to get the dependency, and now I'm thinking yeah.
Okay. It should go through. I don't think you should have a problem getting the client. I think it's just a matter of getting those dependencies.
Okay.
As far as we know. Okay, so so while you're getting the client, let's go through and set up the deployments. You don't need to, we got a couple steps we can go through here. So you've got 3 keys set up in the Clarity, correct?
Yes, I have 3 keys.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is for the purposes
of
our.
I have 2 keys.
You have 2 keys? Yeah, go ahead and
I'm
get
making
a
a
third
third
key.
one now.
Yep, great. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be doing these deploys manually, and the purpose for doing them manually is so we can show everybody how the deploys are structured and give you like a very hands-on demonstration of how things work. So first what we're going to do is we're going to export the base 16 key for key number 2. This is one of the keys that you've created that's not funded. So for me, it's going to be this value here that we're going to put into an argument for the purposes of passing it into a deployment. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I'm going to do export new key X equals that. It doesn't need to be in quotes, right, Tom? You're muted, Tom.
It shouldn't, no.
Okay, so that worked. And then I'm going to here. I'm just going to literally copy this once I've done the export. I'm going to copy this here.
That was the private key?
That's the public key.
That's the public key, okay.
Yeah, the beauty of this is you don't have to share private keys, right? So all someone needs to do is give you their public key and you can grant authority, and then they can sign transactions with the associated private key.
Right, cool.
So if we do echo $args, we'll see here there's a small string of JSON. The reason we're doing this is because we're passing in session arguments. This is something we support, is parameterizing session arguments in JSON. So we're just building a JSON string here. Let me know when you have your client set up, and then we can go through this together.
It's whining about the engine gRPC server.
Okay, why don't you share your screen again? Let's take a look and see what's going on.
Is this Ubuntu 18?
16.
Yeah, we don't test on 16 because it's so old. Yeah, you're likely going to have dependency problems.
I figured.
You can try to just install the client and see if the client doesn't have any issues. So you can do apt install or sudo apt install.
It looks like it's okay.
Oh, the client might have installed actually. Yeah, if you just do Casper Labs -client.
Like this or with a dash here?
No, the way you had it was fine. Yep. Hopefully the client doesn't have any issues.
Hopefully. Now, if as backup, is there a way I can do this? Do I need the client, or can I?
You'll need the client.
Just get by.
Let's see.
You've obviously been able to build the client before, so
yeah, so you could always build it.
You could always build it.
Right. Okay, I figured I'd just build it. Okay.
If we run into issues here,
Seems to
you
be
can always
working,
build it.
though.
Yeah. What did we do that made it? Well, this is good feedback. Rita,
No,
can you add
it's an old version of Ubuntu Meta.
Right.
We're probably never going to support it. They're already on 19.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather move up than move down.
Yeah.
So once you get the client, so in another terminal, you can go ahead and export, go through these steps if you want, Thomas. Export the key for base 16 key for key 2. Go ahead and create an
Nice.
There, you got the client? Perfect.
Yep, he should be
Great.
fine.
Awesome.
Yeah, that looks good.
Great.
Okay.
So then,
Let's
yeah,
get them all
let's go
caught up.
through. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, then export new key, new underscore key hex here.
Yep.
That's the base 16 for key 2. And then go ahead and export these args. You can literally copy paste them out of the page if you wish. I can send you the link. Should be accessible. You got it? Great. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
New
say that.
hex key done.
So now what we're
Was
going
there
to
anything
do.
after that that I needed? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. So then after you've done, so you do the new key hex and then your args. So you got those both done?
I
Export
missed
your
the last
arguments.
one.
Yeah, so you want to do export your arguments here, and you can just copy paste this verbatim. And then the next thing that you'll need is your the path to your private key for key 1, which is the key that you funded initially. So you'll need your private keys to sign your deployment. And then we'll need the path to the WASM file for update associated key. So typically the WebAssembly, all the contracts will land in this path under Casper Labs. So since you built those contracts, that's probably the target path you need. Well, you will need the target path under Casper Labs since you cloned the repo. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna type this out. So the Casper Labs client, to invoke
Can you
the
pull
client.
back up the note page or a link for it, please?
Absolutely. I'm not sharing. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Here, I thought I was sharing. Okay. So you want to, somebody send in the link?
Yes, if you could, that
Thanks.
helps.
I sent it in the chat. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so Casper Labs client host is deploy.casperlabs.io. This is the deploy endpoint for the DevNet. Here we're going to specify our session file, and this is the path to the WASM. And this is going to be execution engine.
Target WASM
Yeah, I know.
32.
I'm trying to display it here so people can see it. WASM 32, release, add, update, associated key, WASM. And then after that, then we've got our arguments, which is our session args. And then the amount we're going to pay, it's still set to 1 billion. And then our private key, which I'm just going to copy this in here. And the path to the private key is for me. And then it's going to be, the account I'm going to use for this is going to be shop key 1 dot private key. So here, to just show you completely the entire command. So we've got Casper Labs client, the host we're sending to, which is this is the endpoint for the DevNet, the session code, execution engine, update, add update associated key, the session arguments, which we specified up here that has the new key hex for key number 2, which is a key that is not funded, payment amount, the amount that we're paying, the private key, which is the first key, which is has the authority on the account. That key is funded and is going to pay for this transaction. It's going to authorize the second key to now spend money out of key 1, out of the account associated with key 1. Are you with me, Thomas?
Yeah.
Hey, Meta, this is Stefan.
Yes.
I'm just catching up. I'm getting an error, an NPM error compiling the smart contract.
Yeah, that NPM error is for the new TypeScript assembly script support we're putting in. So, and you don't have the dependency set up for that. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
You don't need that for today's exercise. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and send this deployment. What did I do wrong here? Oh, did I forget a leading slash? I forgot deploy.
You forgot deploy, yep.
That was brilliant.
See, you are learning.
Yeah.
You did the trick. Deploy goes after host, before session.
There we go. Now I can tell the client to do the right thing. I tried to be smart and not copy this. That's what happened. And so here we'll see a success. And we can go take a look here in Casper Labs Clarity. If we look in the blocks, we see a new block. In here, you'll see that's the deploy hash, 6F33B933. We'll see that that deploy went through and I got a positive result. So it went through successfully. Can also check in my account keys here. You'll notice that the balance for key 1 has decremented because I paid for execution. The next step is to confirm that these new keys, key 2, has the authority to run the contract. And the way we'll verify this is to do a transfer from one account to the other, to the third account, using the second key. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use key number 3 as the recipient account. That's the 2 hex. And we're going to sign this with key number 2's private key. So I'm going to go ahead and get the base 16 key for key number 3. And I'm going to do export to x equals and then I'm going to export an amount that is easily identifiable. So I'm going to do 55. So that's the number of tokens we're going to transact. And then I've already got my transaction args because I did this yesterday. I'll go through it again just so for the purposes of the recording. Copy paste that. I'm going to export that. So if we echo here, you can see name, target account, and value 55, the target account that we set up here, which is key number 3. I'm going to do another deploy. This deployment is going to call a different WASM file. This is transfer to account. So this is the token transfer functionality. So to avoid making a mistake, I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to sign this with the second key. And then the arguments I'm going to use are for the transaction, the TX args. And then the session, whoops, is going to be a different session. Correct. It's going to be the transfer. Starts with transfer to account. Okay, so now using the key number 2, I'm going to transfer money out of account number 1 into account number 3. That's what I expect to happen here.
No.
Did I do that wrong?
Yep.
Did I do it again?
You did it again.
God damn. All right. I forgot the from, didn't I?
Yep.
All right. So from is here.
Yep.
From.
And this will be the hex of account 1 or key 1.
Do I not have that in here? I do, don't I? From key
You
1.
probably do. I think it's just probably didn't make it all the way over when you copied.
See, I should just copy. Yep. From base 16 for key 1. That's the mistake I made. So from account number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll probably see here now, you'll see money come out of, this deploy will fail though, because I don't have funding, right?
Yep, should.
Yeah. So this deploy should fail.
Probably got rejected because you couldn't even pay to
Oh
run.
yeah, so it didn't even go through. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do it correctly.
Yep.
Okay, there's my deployment. So the last deploy didn't work because there was no funding. This deploy did work. So here we go, we see a result. And then if we look at the account keys here, and look at their associated balances. You'll see here that account key number 3 has 55 tokens in it. account number 1 was decremented again, and account number 2 didn't have any money or any funding to pay for it. And so this is a way we've basically delegated the authority of number 3, key number 2, to act on behalf of key number 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to revoke that right. So now we're going to revoke the key. And I think we just run a different WASM here, yeah. Now to revoke access, this transaction has to be signed by the owner of the account, which is private key number 1. Okay, and then we're going to go back here. Okay. And so now here we're passing the exact same arguments, but the transaction that we're sending is to remove the associated key. And we're signing this with the first key that has the authority on the account, the ultimate signing authority on the account. So we're going to go ahead and send this transaction. Let's see the deployment. And we see the new block. We see that the deployment went through. And you'll notice that the balance of key 1 continues to decrement. It's going down because it's paying for transactions. Here we go, 998,053. And so now what we expect is that key number 2 is no longer authorized to perform a transfer. So what we're just going to do is we're going to try to do the transfer again using key number 2 to verify that the key's actually been revoked. So I'm just going to cheat here and use my up key and run the deploy that I just did a moment ago. What we'll see here now is the deploy will actually go through, but a block will not be created because the transaction's not authorized. So if you're running a node locally, you'll see the error logs in the node. You'll get basically a not authorized error message within the node, but we won't see that. Tom can share his screen if you guys want to see that error message. So we'll run that. From the end user's perspective, it looks like the deploy went through, but then no block is created because the transaction wasn't authorized. We may want to consider being able to see deploys that I've sent and the status of them if they failed. I don't know, but it probably would be helpful, guys. So here we go, this one here. It did show that it failed, exit code 24. Yesterday it didn't show at all, Tom. Today I'm seeing a deployment.
Is that definitely
Maybe
your deploy?
It may not be my deploy. Let's see.
Yeah, I would look at the hash. So E290B.
No,
Yeah,
this
so that
is
was not
2.5. So this is probably one of the guys. Thomas, you try your deploy?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, so you got rejected.
I got rejected?
Hmm.
Your deploy didn't go through, exit code 24.
It says, it told me, it gave me a success actually. So that's odd.
Well, the deploy went through. That just means that your transaction made it through to the blockchain, but on execution in the blockchain, it failed. What is exit code 24, Maciek, do you know?
Yeah, I'm just checking. It's a duplicate key. So probably you're trying to
Wait a minute, that's not my hash
add
though.
a key. You need to remove the key before.
Why don't you share your screen, Thomas? See what's going on there. We can help you out.
Okay. Oh, well, is that right? Right here?
Yeah, we're looking at the right screen. Let's take a look and see here.
Okay, so that appears to be my hash right there.
I want to look at your arguments.
That would be.
We're looking at it right now here. See.
Oh.
And can you also show us your public, the public hex address in Clarity for your accounts? My guess is you might have supplied the same account, so it might have errored out.
For my account keys?
Yeah, so for new hex key, you put 9F054. Is that key 1, 2, or 3?
Is this the
That's
first?
one.
Is this the
Yeah,
first
so
deployment you sent?
that's the issue, Meta. So
Yeah.
new hex key should be the public address of key 2.
Oh.
So, but he's also doing the transfer to add update. Yeah. So the first you want to do is add update, right? And
Yeah,
your
so he
arms
was
should
using
be
the
key
same.
2. Yeah, yeah. So that's why it gave you duplicate key errors. So use key 2 because you're
Okay.
signing the deploy with key 1, but you're granting authority to key 2 in this add update key. So the WebAssembly, the smart contract expects 2 different keys.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's all right. That makes sense. All right. So which one do I modify?
So in your new key hex, so when you do basically set the value of new key hex to the public key of key 2.
Gotcha. Okay,
From
that's
Clarity.
what I did wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
And then,
and now rerun the deploy to add update key.
Actually, I think I might have to re-export args too. There. And then already copied this. Just paste that in. Right there.
Yeah. That's gonna
Okay, got a new hash.
F226. Okay, F226. So now we go into Clarity. Yeah.
Hey, that looks like it right there.
It's good.
That looks good.
That was it.
Yep. And now you should be able to do the transfer to key number 3 using key number 2.
Gotcha.
So when you do the transfer, don't sign with 01, sign with Casper 03. I'm 02.
Okay.
But you and
So the transfer is this. Yeah. All right, I'm making that one right now because I haven't actually done that one yet.
bless you.
Thank you. And it will be from key 2?
The transfer will be from key 1. So it'll be
From key
the
1.
public key from 1. it will go
Right.
to 3, and it will be signed by 2.
Private key for 2. Almost there.
You sign it with 2, the one you just authorized here, and then send it to key 3.
I'm writing this all in a window here, and then I'm just going to paste it in.
Sure.
Okay.
So Meta, I got an exit code 3.
You got an exit code of? Exit code of 3.
Yes.
Maciek, what is exit code 3? We'll be publishing these errors soon.
That's okay.
It's an invalid
Got
argument.
something wrong.
Invalid
So,
arguments. Oh, don't put your private key up there. I think your private key needs to be the path to your private key, right?
For me?
Yeah. Yeah, you've
No,
got
that
your
was the one I
dash
just
private key.
produced.
You want to put your private key there. That's why you got bad arguments.
This one?
Yeah. That just needs to be the path to
Yeah,
your
that's
private
what I'm
key.
signing. Oh, you pass it with an R. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just
You
kind of
pass
took a
it-
shortcut. It is what it is. I mean, I just generated it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Session args. Did you echo? What's echo TX args?
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's odd. Okay, it's
you
not
pasted in
holding.
the keys, but they're not variables, right? So you can't use dollar curly brace around them if you're going to do that.
Right. Okay, take that out then.
Also, I believe as Meta's saying, the private key argument is a path to file.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't want to encourage people to be sending private keys as plain text to
Of course.
employees.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad practice, but I figured I'm just trying to hurry it along. So.
It's okay.
It's also not the private key. That's the public key of key 2.
Okay. So I need the private key of key 2, right?
The path to the file, yeah. Sorry, so not there. So that was right, what you had before. So D5F98E369. That's the public key of key 3, I assume. That is correct there. So when I was saying you need to change your private key, I meant in your deploy command.
You see, after payment amount, you've got dash private key. That's where you need to put that path.
Okay.
You see, right after payment amount, that's where
I put that in the wrong spot. All right.
Exactly. Yeah. So your args look okay. D5F98 is the public key of account 3, correct? Where you're sending the money to?
D5F98?
Yeah.
That's that's the public 3.
That's the public 3, right? Okay, so then for your deploy, where you see payment amount, dash payment amount, right after that you see dash private key. That's where you have to put home ghost downloads, TCS2 private key. That's your key number 2 that's going to sign the deployment. That's where that goes.
And then from, is that where you go dash from? Is that going to be a file also? Is that a hex string I can pass in?
No, that can be a hex string. That can be a hex string. That's
Okay.
the address for number 1, the public key for
Okay.
number 1.
Key for number 1. There.
Yeah, that looks right.
Oh,
So you have
but it wasn't.
you have issues in your JSON, probably because you're pasting values in there. I would just export as we do it.
Okay.
That way we don't need to debug JSON errors. There's probably a curly brace or something left somewhere.
Yeah, I think I see it. All right. Well. All right, we're going to do this differently. We're going to public 3.
Okay, I fixed my my problem. I got to deploy off, but this has been great.
There you go. You're good to go.
Oh, this is helpful. Appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, I'll see you. Is this a weekly thing now, or?
Yeah, I'm going to do them every week. Yep, and I'll put up a roadmap. Basically a backlog of topics. But next week we'll probably try to use weighted keys and show you guys how the multi-sig works.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that.
Okay.
That's great.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll talk to you next.
All right, bye. Here we go. Let's see.
I'm looking for it right now. Where did I find this hash in the Explorer?
In blocks, go into blocks.
Oh, gotcha.
Or you can also search for deploys, either way. But I see yours is E49B8.
Yep,
It's in block hash DE78101.
There you go.
that's where I'm looking. Okay, there it is. Yeah, cool.
Sounds good. Now you should be able to, now you've authorized the second key. You can go, did you?
No, that was the transfer.
Oh, that was a transfer. Cool. So you should be able to look at your account balances. So go to the account keys and then look at your account balances, and you should see that the third key now is
look at that.
a $55,
Yep.
55 token account. Yep. Balance. There you go.
Now we just need to automate all that.
Yeah, well, this is more about training, but yes, you can absolutely automate all that.
Right. Of course.
It's all code.
I love
Right.
it. Yeah.
And so then you can continue with the tutorial going through revoking the access and then trying it again. So you can play with this a little bit now.
Got it. I'm recording all this, or not recording, but I'm just taking notes, my own notes on this, so I can just rinse, repeat, and really learn this forwards and backwards too. So this is awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I'll share the recording with you guys as well.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for dialing in. See you at the next session. Cheers.
All right, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.